Namaste children, welcome back to the last session of our chapter, that is weather, climate and adaptations in plants and animals. So far in this chapter we learned so many things, starting from the weather and climate and the factors that are influencing the weather and climate of an area. Yes, and after that we come across the polar region animals and the adaptations that are seen in the polar region animals, and after that we covered the tropical rainforest area, the climatic conditions of this area, and how this tropical rainforest area is giving shelter for a lot of vegetation because of its enough climate, heavy rainfalls, equal distribution of day and night times, sufficient food material. These are some of the reasons. Because of that, the tropical rainforest area is giving a habitat for maximum vegetation. After that, we even come across the adaptations in some of the animals that are living in tropical rainforest areas. Like all these animals, they belongs to tropical rainforest region. So now after that, now let us move to the desert area, because in the terrestrial zone we even have in another area where you will notice a very high temperatures with a less rainfall or a drastic change in the temperatures, that all we will notice. So now in our today's class we are going to learn about a different terrestrial zone, that is your desert zone, and the animals that are living in this desert zone. What are the different type of adaptations that they brought in their body? So generally you people very well know that adaptation means it is a change that is brought in the living organism's body. Means it's maybe a bodily change or a behavior change that is shown by the animals or living organisms towards their habitat for their better surveillance. Okay, so now first of all let us see what are the climatic conditions of this desert area. So whenever we will remember desert, the immediate thing that comes into our brain, that is a sandy soil, that is your sandy soil. Along with that, you even will find that a very hot temperature during daytime. Suddenly the temperature falls down and becomes very low during night time. So the maximum temperature in the desert area around it reaches to 50 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature drops down even up to minus 40 degrees Celsius. So you can find out the variation between the temperatures. So throughout the morning, very high temperatures that are noted, which even can reach up to 50 degrees Celsius, and when it comes to night time, a sudden drop down in the temperatures that we will notice. Okay, so now the plants and the animals that are living in this particular climatic zone, they are trying to adapt towards such a very harsh climatic conditions, that is in extreme temperatures and a very little rainfall, or sometimes complete a long rainfall, or sometimes long rainless periods also. So such an extreme adverse climatic conditions, how the animals that are adjusted. Okay, so now let us see some of the desert animals. So at first, if you will see here, this is one such desert frog. Yes, a African frog. So this particular African frog, if you will see this African frog, it will always try to what adopt towards the adverse conditions, like it will try to completely sleep during the adverse conditions. Like when you will observe this African frog, this is a frog during summer season or during extreme conditions, throughout that conditions, like for 8 to 9 months, it will try to secrete some secretions outside the body, and it will try to sleep. So such a long summer sleep we are saying as a estivation. In your lower classes you read the long summer sleep by the frogs, it's called your estivation. So because that summer season a very high temperatures are present, to protect itself from such high temperatures, when this frog it is sleeping, it will even secrete a jelly like secretions around its body, and without any movement for a longer periods it will sleep. Longer periods means it may reach some months also there. Such a long summer sleep we are calling it as a estivation. Okay, so that is one big behavior adaptation that is shown by the African frogs. So now after that, see, observe this picture here. Can you tell what is this picture? This picture, it is your frog that is living, foxes that are living in the desert areas. So this is your fennec fox. So fennec fox is one such fox that is living in the desert areas, where in this fennec fox, if we will observe a different, notice a different thing, that is your long ears. So the long ears in the fennec fox, when you will notice these long ears, yes, these long ears in the fennec fox that are always and always helping the fox in maintaining the body temperature. So if there are extreme body temperatures are there, if the body temperature is increasing, so through these long ears, now the fox it is releasing the temperature outside the body and to maintain some coolness in its body. So in this way, this long ears of the fennec fox that is helpful. And this fennec fox generally it is a nocturnal animal. Nocturnal animal means those animals which are active during night time. They will do their activities during night time, like our owl, bird. Yes, it's a nocturnal animal which is active during night time. All the animals which are active during night time, those are called your nocturnal animals. Okay, so now after your fennec fox, let us move to another animal that lives in the desert areas. So can you identify this animal? Of course, it's your meerkats. It's your meerkats. So meerkats, if you will observe the eyes of these meerkats properly, children. So these meerkat animals, they are having a dark patches of fur around their eyes. Dark patches of fur around their eyes, because now this fur it helps to cut down the glare that is coming from the bright sunlight. So when the glare, if it is cut down, this meerkat able to see a proper vision. So having a darkish fur around the eyes is one such adaptation that is seen in the meerkats, so that they can cut off the glare that is coming from the bright sunlight and they can have a proper vision. Okay, so meerkat is one such animal that lives in the desert area. So other than this, if you will see some birds, yes, some birds like your, so now after this, let's observe this picture. Can you find what is this plant here, bird that is present here? Of course, it's an ostrich. So ostrich is one such bird that is present in the desert regions and which have adopted so many things towards its habitat. The first and foremost one, its long legs. So the long legs of the ostrich, it is helpful to keep away its body from the sandy soil which is very hot, so that it can protect its body. And the second thing is, observe its flat feet. So the flat feet is one such adaptation that helps to run the bird very fastly and easily in a hot sand without shrinking the feet in the sand. So this is one more adaptation that is seen in the ostrich bird. One is having a long legs and the second one is having a flat feet That's not at all allowing the feet to shrink inside the soil so that it can run very, very, very fastly. Okay, now the animal which we are calling as a sheep of desert, it's nothing but your camel. So camel is one such animal that grows in the desert areas, where the body of the camel itself a lot of adaptations it's showing. So let us start with the hump, the extra outer projection that is coming on the back of the camel. So this hump, it is an area where inside the hump a thin waxy layer is present that is helping the plant to protect itself from the dehydration condition, and immediately below this a water bag is present where it is storing a lot of water. And the big nostrils of the camel is one such adaptation, that nostrils are voluntary in their action. When there is a sandstorm, that time immediately they will close their nostrils. A very big eyelashes are there that are preventing the dust to enter into the eyes. And one more thing, observe the long legs of the camel. These are another adaptations that are seen in the camel, which are keeping the body away from the sandy soil and even the flat feet. It's also helpful to walk very freely in the sandy soil. So almost all the body of the camel itself is completely adapted or made towards this desert condition. So your camel is one such animal which is mainly seen in the desert areas. And here I said that a camel, it can drink almost or 40 liters of water in duration of 10 minutes, and it will store it. And one more thing, in camels, if you will see the low sweating rate, means it's low dehydration rate you will see in the camel, which is preventing the water loss, and that's very much important for it. And one more, another adaptation that you will observe, that your camel, it is excreting a very little urine from its body. That is also another adaptation that is making the camel to survive betterly in the desert conditions. So now after camel, if you will see, this is your desert snake, where in this desert snake we will find that it is generally, snakes means they will crawl on the ground. So when this snake, this is generally a nocturnal animal, during night times only it will come out. But during daytime, if the snake that is coming out and crawling on the hot sand, there is a chance that its skin will burn. Under such conditions, these desert snakes, some for some duration, they will crawl from the lateral side, sometimes from this side, sometimes from this side. Means they will keep on rotating its body, and they will try to crawl on the sand. And one more thing, most of the times, instead of crawling on the top of the sand, they will try to crawl inside the sand so that they can protect their body from the extreme heat. Okay, children, read desert adaptations from your textbook and complete the practice questions that are given at the back of the textbook. Thank you so much.